In-depth coverage of the top stories and breaking news when it happens. Newsradio 1080 KRLD.
The Trump administration wants to include a citizenship question on the upcoming 2020 census. Opponents fought the move, and today the U.S. Supreme Court put the question on hold. Byron Henry is a local attorney and constitutional scholar. We bring him in on the KRLD Newsline. Mr. Henry, what is the simple explanation for what the Supreme Court ruled today?
You've got to give a facially decent reason to do this. Otherwise, it's subject to judicial review, which is what happened here. And in this case, I would simply say it was shoddy work by the Commerce Department. It was done quickly. It was done at the last minute. It wasn't done with proper planning. The reasoning was shallow, as the court basically labeled it, not necessarily false, but surely shallow and contrived, as Chief Justice Robert put it. So they're going to give them another shot to justify this question. And I think the way it's written is it's basically telling the Commerce Department, fix this and you'll be fine.
So in other words, if they dot all the I's and cross all the T's, you seem to think that the Supreme Court would have no problem with this question.
I absolutely believe that the opinion affirming and sending it back to the court, keeping the question off for now, was exactly that. You didn't give us enough to hang our hat on, so we're going to give you another shot. If it comes back with enough to hang our hat on, which I don't think it will, but if it does, they would affirm the question being on the added to the census. And I think this could probably all happen before the drop-dead deadline for the census forms, but that remains a matter. Does Commerce want to take the court up on its invitation? How strongly do they want this question? Are they going to do the extra work quickly enough? That kind of stuff. So that's a decision the executive branch will have to make. Ultimately, I guess the president.
There are already reports this afternoon that President Trump is calling for an indefinite delay in the 2020 census after everything that's happened today. Does the administration have authority to make something like that happen?
Well, the administration is the branch that's charged with actually conducting the census. So whether or not they, quote, have the authority is an issue I haven't done the research on, but I can tell you that as the department that actually prints and sends out and hires the people and does the work, it will take place as the Commerce Department through the executive branch does it. So if it takes them longer, it takes them longer. So otherwise you're looking at litigation to force the Commerce Department to work faster, which I don't see that as feasible. So whether or not it's legal authority, I don't know if that's the way I'd phrase it. Practical authority is the Commerce Department is the one that's going to print and handle the census issues. So when that is finally done and commences is pretty much within the ambit of the executive branch and the Commerce Department.
Thanks to constitutional scholar Byron Henry.